Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 7 psychological design principles that you can apply today in your UX design process so you can create more usable products. Now if you are new here, my name is Ahmed and I'm a UI UX designer based in Canada, and in this channel I share with you the tips, systems and strategies on how to become a better UI UX designer. Now the reason these principles are so powerful is, let's admit it, design is messy. We really do not like to admit as UI UX designers with our shiny portfolios and shiny resumes, but when you are working on a real product, design becomes messy. You get feedback from every stakeholder, every manager, but you know what makes it less messy? Fundamentals and principles. So let's get cracking. Let's say on a weekend you actually go out with a friend to buy stuff. You have saved $50 and you know that for your new PS4 you have the new Call of Duty game in search for. You want to buy this game so bad, you're going to the store and you realize the price actually has increased and it's now $89. It's almost $40 out of your budget. So you feel sad, your friend consoles you, and then your eye catches another game. Let's say it's the new game called Crisis, and it's the new version of the game, and it only costs $65. Now what matters here is this: both games are technically out of your budget of $50, but your mind does this weird trick where it's telling you to buy the Crisis game, the $65 game, because it sounds like a good deal. And that, my friend, is called anchoring bias. We humans are very bad at assigning value to things. We basically assign value to things compared to the relative things in the same category. If you are gonna buy a game and it's $89 and the other game is $65 sounds like a really good deal, even though it might just a bit expensive. Next to a very expensive game, in this case, it sounds like a good deal. Now, how can you apply this to your UX design process? Check it out.
A good place to apply the anchor principle is in the pricing page on most applications before a user becomes a customer. So for this example, I picked the application called Flow. It's a user research application, and they basically, once you scroll down in their pricing page, you can see the 5 different plans for a person to subscribe, and you can see with an accent color green they picked basically a subscription. The 4th subscription model, which is the business and it costs $159, is on the expensive side. The reason they picked this is they know that once your eye goes to the green color, your mind will actually be anchored to the price $159, and anything on its left, like the growth or starter package, will actually look like a good deal to you. And what once might be actually out of your budget, you might have a budget of $15 a month, will now sound like a pretty good deal.
Now imagine this: you and your partner are going out on a weekend. It's late at night and you guys took a long walk of a couple of hours, so your stomach grumbles. You guys are hungry and you also feel adventurous to try something new in the city. So your partner actually points you across the street. There are 2 restaurants. Now, which one will you choose? The restaurant A actually has a long line queue of people who are waiting to dine in that restaurant. For restaurant B, it's a complete ghost town, man. It's like a horror movie restaurant where you actually shoot the movie because there's nobody in there. It's that bad. So, which restaurant would you choose? And remember, neither of you knows if the product is good. You guys did not do any online research. You didn't read any Yelp reviews. You just feel adventurous. Which one do you believe you are more likely to choose? And the research says the restaurant A, the restaurant with more people lined up. Why? It's social proof. But as a bias, it's called herd mentality. We trust something or try something when we see other people already doing it. Now, this bias, this principle is so important. It's used across digital products in many different platforms, web or mobile. I will show you how to use it.
How is herd mentality bias used in design? It's usually used in the home page to get a new user to sign up. Now, for this example, I picked the company Basecamp. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and what they do in their value proposition, their homepage, in the first header is they explain what the product is about, what the main value proposition is, what happens once you get into the program, the application, and then they, show some playful things, what it looks like. And then in here, once you scroll to here, a bit more below, they are actually giving you all these testimonials on big important people, like the CEO of Shopify uses it, 121 captions, a big company uses it. And now it's like the restaurant example. There are a lot of people who use this product that are also important, and that sways our decision, even though it might not work for us. Because of the social proof that is demonstrated, we trust the company more.
Now, we have all been there. Where have we been? To the Ikea, of course. Now, every broke college student in their past actually had to buy furniture, and most of us, including me, actually went to Ikea to shop my first furniture. Now, when I get Ikea furniture, I usually do it because it's cheap, it arrives, but I have to assemble it, and I hate every second of it. Now, the very weird thing about Ikea furniture is this: while you are doing it, you hate yourself, but when it's done, when that furniture is done, like the library shelf backwards in our apartment here, you look at it and you wonder, with a sense of pride, I built that. That looks kinda nice. I really like it. And that, my friend, is called commitment bias. Literally in social science, it is called also Ikea effect. We value things irrationally once we put a lot of commitment or our time or our labor into it. And watch this video to see how you can use it in your design process.
How do software companies use Ikea effect? For demonstration of this one, I actually picked a time tracking application I love called Toggle. I probably love it irrationally. And what Toggle lets you do is it lets you track your time. But how it actually makes me invest my labor, my time, my energy is by letting me customize the product by adding the project titles. Like, I can add the classes or my exercise to track my time, so I know how much time I'm allocating per project. But because I'm the one who's putting in the work to create the project labels, I come to like Toggle more irrationally. I'm under the Ikea effect, commitment bias.
We have too many shirts to wear. We have too many gadgets to play with. On Netflix, we have thousands of movie choices to pick. Listen, really, the motto of the 21st century is we want more, we need more, and we have more. It comes with a price though. Have you ever been in a situation where you and your friends are trying to pick a movie to watch on Netflix and it's been 30 minutes and none of you have decided yet? It's basically called choice overload bias. What this means is that the more choices you have when you are going to pick something, whether it is an event, a product, or let's say a date, it leads to decision fatigue because you have to consider now many choices and you have to pick the best one, and this is very hard. That is why you and your friends are still struggling to pick that movie, and please pick it. We are all waiting for you. Now, this actually applies to design a lot because we all have been there where we shopped stuff or where we were actually using stuff where we didn't know actually what we wanted and we wanted to be led. And let's see how you can apply this to your design process.
The key thing with the choice overload bias is that it's generally used in e-commerce applications that know what they are doing, like Amazon. So how Amazon uses it is fascinating. So this is a book that I think I might like, and I go scroll below and I see how Amazon recommends me 2 other books, again not 20, that might go very well with it, and gives me a very specific CTA to add. So it's leading me with only 2 books, so I don't need to make much decision, and it's giving me a CTA to lead, so I am not in a paralysis by analysis mode, I can just follow up. It is also doing it when actually they are showing the related items. They are showing at most 7 items, because after 7 choices, actually human mind actually has very much difficulty in comparing which things to actually get or use. And Amazon does this perfectly. So if you are working on an e-commerce application, make sure that you don't have more than 7 options recommended. And if you are actually recommending things to be bought, add the CTA. That will also help.
Now let's play a game. Raise your hand if you have ever stayed in a relationship longer than you should have. Now that got a bit awkward, but let's generalize this. Now, we have all made decisions in life, whether that is picking a partner, buying a car, or investing in our education, whether that is going to university, where we at the time were very sure that it was a good decision, and around the middle we knew that it was a bad decision, but we did not back out. We let it ride its course. Why is that? Now, why did we let a past decision have an influence on a future or present decision that will change our lives? Because we cannot get the time, resources that we invested in the past. So why do we let it dictate our future? And that the reason we do this is called sunk cost fallacy. We humans are very bad at detaching ourselves from the decisions we made in the past, where we actually pulled a lot of our resources and we just tell ourselves we have to see the finish line because we are considering how much effort we already sacrificed. But that should not be included in our calculation or decision process now, because we cannot get those resources back. Now, this is actually very important psychological principles when it comes to UX design, and let's see how you can
use the sunk cost fallacy principle. Now, the way it's usually used is when you are trying to get someone to actually sign up for a service or a product, and it's actually a long form. You actually create a progress bar, and what that does is once a person is in the second or third step, they are likely to stay and finish because they already invested their resources. So I'm gonna show you. Let's say we are on this pest control company and we are interested, and we pick the pest, and now we are at the multi-step form, and you see how much we are here and we are answering, and now we're at 43%. We already invested so much effort, so we might as well finish. Now, this also makes the whole task more manageable because it's basically doing small tasks at a time to come to a bigger task. But it's also making me stay more because at 40% I already invested, I might as well finish and not leave. Some companies even get more insistent on this, where if you try to leave, they will tell you that you are gonna lose all of your progress.
Ever been to a foreign country where you did not speak the language and you felt like an idiot the whole time? And then you had a chance to dine in one of the restaurants you saw on the street, and you got the menu and you are looking at all these local dishes, and at the bottom you see the magical word pizza. Now, you might not know if the pizza is good or not, and it might not be the most expensive option, so you might think to yourself, maybe it's not the best pizza around, but chances are you are actually going to take the pizza. Chances are you are actually going to take the pizza because you have eaten a pizza before. You can pronunciate that word pizza very easily, unlike all those geographical things, unreadable language or whatever that alphabet is. So you order a pizza. Now, this is called exposure effect. We like things that are familiar to us. Familiarity breeds likability. In this video now, I'm going to show you how you can use this for your UX design process.
Alright, so for the mere exposure bias, I picked a website that I really like. It's the fitter.com, and the mere exposure effect is used by basically creating familiar UI elements that users understand. I picked this website because The founders of this company are very experienced 20-30-year designers, and every element they design on the web is very simple and familiar. You can basically understand a button is button, a type is type. For videos they have icons, and this is what you want to do, because if you actually are being original, you risk the chance of being unfamiliar and unliked, and that is very important when it comes to design.
Now we have all heard the magical words. When you asked your mentor or your parents or your friends on how to network, and the number one thing they said was, have confidence. And confidence is a very vague term. If you think about it, you can be confident in actually flying, or you can also be very confident in not flying. You can be really confident in failing a task or succeeding at it, which is very debilitating, because it makes the term confidence very vague, very abstract, which is why psychologists actually came up with the term called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is given to a person who believes with the skills they have, they can accomplish stuff that they set out to, their goals. And the goals are so intrinsically embedded in our nature that we actually become happy in the pursuit of those goals. So, this is very important when we are actually designing products. When a user joins to your product and it's a complex web app or a mobile app, it is a very good idea to make them feel like they are actually becoming more competent, they are getting mastery in your product over time. Let's see how we can apply this in your design process.
What kind of application use the self-efficacy basically principle to actually enhance their product experience? Now, one thing I like as an app that uses this principle is called vidIQ. It is basically a YouTube optimization app that tells me how my channel is doing. It gives me audits, but look at in the sidebar one thing they have, which is achievements, and this keeps me motivated for the app's usage all the time, because it shows me how I'm progressing, but it's almost like gamifying YouTube, so that it makes me see that my hard work is paying off. I feel I'm getting better at producing videos and editing videos, and that is one of the key reasons why I keep using this app. And so if you are designing a application, it is very important to give feedback, and at certain points to actually show the achievements of the user, whether you gamify the application or you instantaneously show a task has been accomplished.
Now, if you actually enjoyed this video and you want to hear more from me, please smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I post twice a week on this channel, Mondays and Fridays, and I will see you next week.